The highest ideal of cure is the speedy, gentle, and enduring restoration of health by the most trustworthy and, yes, the least harmful way. This was the quote, a beautiful initiative, which was quoted by Samuel Hahnemann, who was the founder of homeopathy. This generally has similarities with the quote which generally was given by Hippocrates, and it suggested that the natural healing force within each one of us is the greatest force in getting well. Our food should be our medicine, and our medicine should be our food. So, through this certification course of herbal technology, we'll be providing you the deeper insights regarding the herbal medicine and how this herbal technology it relates to the wellness. I'm Dr. Natika Thakur, and I'm working as assistant professor microbiology in the Department of Biotechnology, Shulin University. And I have been assigned the unit fourth of your syllabus, which generally deals with the herbs in human ailments. So I generally call it reverting back to the natural remedies. So today we'll be starting with the subsection characteristics and elements of the traditional medicine. So whenever we talk about the traditional medicine, we know that since ages, humans have relied on nature for their basic needs. So when I'm talking about the basic needs, I talk about the production of food stuff, shelter, clothing, means of transportation, fertilizers, flavors, fragrances, and not at least the type of typical medicines they are being preferring. Plants have formed the basis of these sophisticated traditional system of medicines that have been in existence for a thousand of years and continue to provide humankind with new remedies. So you can see that how it relates to the traditional system. Now, further, if we talk about the human civilization, we know that early humans they acquired the knowledge on plant utilization. Basically, if they were going for the therapeutic values through many years of vigilant observations, experiences, and the trials, and also some to some of the extent the error experiments where they were witnessing the error and they were working continuously to improve that. So traditional medicine plants, they are an important element of indigenous medical systems if we talk about China or if we are talking about a global perspective. Now, traditional medicine, if we talk about, it refers to any ancient and culturally based healthcare practices which differ from scientific medicine and is largely transmitted only by the communities of different culture. So indigenous, if we talk about indigenous medical system or indigenous knowledge, we are talking about the local knowledge that generally your grandmothers, generally your mothers know, and this has been passed to generation and generation. So how do we know about herbs? Yes, we know about herbs due to that early therapeutic values which were judged by the early humans or by our grandmothers and all, and finally by this vigilant observation, experience, and trials, and also some of the error experimental values, they went through this conclusion that yeah, this indigenous knowledge is related to some of the scientific foundations also, and it needs to go for further testing. So moving further, if we talk about the contents of today's today's presentation, we'll be coming across the definitions, yeah, because before moving on to the particular ailments and how the herbal treatments are needed to cure it, we need to know some of the definitions, some of the typical terms or terminologies which are being related to this traditional medicine system. So we'll be going through the traditional medicine, complementary or alternative medicine, what are the medicinal plants, and what are your particular herbs. In the second section, we'll be going through the traditional medicine and complementary or alternative medicine, generally going for the significance and highlighting the importance of traditional medicine and complementary or your alternative medicine. So if we start with the typical traditional medicine, now you know that the Rig Veda, if we talk about Rig Veda, it says that man learned to distinguish edible plants from the poisonous ones by observing animals. So traditional medicine plants are readily available and culturally acceptable as they offer an accessible and affordable healthcare regime and serve as an important source of livelihood for indigenous rural populations. When we talk about the researchers on plant and the use of medicinal or the traditional medicinal information has gained or you can say has received the considerable interest. So this herbal medicine is an integral part of any traditional system of medicine, and also it is like becoming more significant from the point of view of therapeutic values and its like implementation into this new era. As you know, this era it has been marked by the continuous attack by the COVID-19, and we need to search for our herbal repositories or reservoirs to bring out the cures which provide a long lasting immunity patterns to for our health. So if we talk about traditional medicine, if we talk about the WHO organization, that is World Health Organization, so in 2002, they observed that it is difficult to assign one definition to this broad range or broad term, which is being related to the different elements and characteristics of traditional medicine. But for a working definition, how can you define a traditional medicine? So they concluded that the traditional medicines, they can be defined as the typical type of diverse health practices, or it can be termed as specific approaches, knowledge, and belief which generally incorporates or bring into practice the plant, animal, and your mineral based medicines, spiritual therapies, manual techniques, finally, exercises which are being applied in a single fashion or can be combined to maintain the well being as well as to treat, diagnose, or prevent the illness. So, this was a definition which was a working definition picked up by WHO. Then, if we talk about the complementary and alternative medicines, now, if we talk about this term, the complementary or the alternative medicine, these terms, they can be used as a typical type of interchangeable components, you can say, in some countries, because they refer to a very broad category of the healthcare practices that are not part of that country's own tradition and are not integrated into the dominant healthcare system. So they can be alternatively used here. And finally, these complementary or alternative medicines, they are the type of interchangeable terms. So you can use complementary or you can use the alternative medicine therapies. Now talking further about the some of the African traditional medicines. So one of the definition which generally satisfy this African traditional medicine by your World Health Organization Center. So they defined it as a typical type of you can say aggregation or combination of all the traditional knowledges and practices which were generally used, generally implemented for the diagnosis purposes, prevention purposes, and also the elimination of some of the major imbalances. So, if I talk about imbalances, it can be in terms of physical, mental, or societal. And also, it relies on the practical experiences and observations which were handed down from the typical type of generation. So, when I'm talking about generation to generation, I'm talking about a cascade of progeny, which is generally from your grandparents, your grand progenies, to the final future progenies. So, whether it may be verbally quoted or it may be written in typical books or written in some of the upanyasas. So, if we talk about the another term which is related to this traditional medicinal thing, we have medicinal plants. So, this is the basic root which is being related to this typical type of traditional knowledge system. So, according to the World Health Organization, a medicinal plant, it can be defined as a plant in like you can define it as in one or more of its organ containing the substances that can be used for basically when we are talking about the therapeutical science, therapeutical purposes, or which are the precursors for your chemopharmaceutical semisynthesis. So these are some of the nature selective plants or the medicinal plants which have medicinal values, and finally they can be used for various clinical diagnosis or in any type of therapies which are being related to this clinical system. Okay, this is the another term, herb. So what is an herb? We always talk about herbs. What are the herbs? What are these herbs? So an herb, if a herb, it can be defined as a typical type of botanical, in botanical sense, a plant which lacks a permanent wood system. So here you can see the photographical or pictorial views also. You have different type of herbs ranging from the basil, coriander, which are generally the typical highlights of your kitchen gardening. So it is coriander, mint, you have chives, you have like chivel, rosemary, and etc etc. So you have lots of like herbs which are being used or which are being known traditionally. So in point of view how to define herb, it can be defined as a typical plant which lacks a perennial permanently woody system, and it produces seeds and flowers and that dies down after its growing season. In a typical culinary or gardening sense, if we talk about herb, these material they possess in addition to strong flavors and fragrances, and therefore make food more attractive to consume. Also, by the definitions, if we talk about the broader terms, if it is like to be applied or implicated in traditional medical systems, this herb is a small and non-woody plant valued for its medicinal or aromatic qualities. And herbal preparation is then a natural remedy derived from herbs. So collectively, you can call herbs a typical type of permanent woody system which is being absent there, and it goes for production of seeds and flowers. And in another term, if you're going for gardening sense, it is like producing strong flavor, fragrances, and also making food more attractive to consume. In another broader term, if you want to link it with the traditional medical system, you can go for the typical type of definition which is being related to its aromatic qualities, because there you need to exploit these qualities on the basis of their medicinal values. So, talking further, what is the significance which is being related to the traditional medicine and complementary, or you can see the alternative medicine? So, if we talk about this, we see that despite the term globalization and modernization, you know that this is the fastest spreading things which are being seen. A sizable fraction of the rural poor purely it depends on the traditional medicines as for their primary healthcare modality. So this dependence on these traditional medicines are because of their role in the healthcare system. And if they are being exploited, if they are being implemented properly, they will surely increase in the near future for their cultural viability. And also, they are very affordable. And because this existing modern hair care, you can say the care services is limited and expensive, so we have an alternative option to go for the traditional medicine, which is generally specific, which is generally targeted, which is generally culturally viable. And finally, the most important thing, they are affordable. So traditional system of medicine, this has been the only option which becomes available in every broad perspective if we are going for healthcare prior to the induction of modern medicines for prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of various type of aspects which relates to your social, mental, and physical illnesses. So this was all about your first lecture. We'll be moving on to some of the history or the historical lineage which is being related, is related, and you need to know regarding that historical point of view, where we'll be discussing about the different type of systems related to your traditional folk system. So thank you and have a nice day.